Hi, mother-in-law. Thank you for taking care of me for 35 years. Were you expecting me to say that? What? You're still an unlivable daughter-in-law until the very end. From now on, I don't want to call you mother-in-law anymore. I'll call you Rose instead.
Do as you like. I don't even want to remember you were technically my daughter-in-law. Let's cut ties completely while we're at it.
For once, we finally agree.
So, when are you gonna move out? Get out already. If you're not gone by the time Leo and I get back, you'll be sorry.
My moving boxes are already packed, and I'm just waiting for my ride now.
Oh, I see. You married into this family 35 years ago. I heard everyone in your family had passed away, leaving you with no relatives. So you managed to find a friend to give you a ride? Surprising. Haha. What time are you leaving?
I'm out of here in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll kick you out if you stay longer than that.
No need to worry.
What do you mean?
I want to leave here as soon as possible too. I'm already waiting outside the front door.
What? You can't be serious, standing outside with all your belongings?
Yes, I am. What about it?
On a scorching day like this with no shade, what are you doing?
You're right. It's terribly hot today, isn't it? Are you actually concerned about me? How sweet of you.
At least wait inside. The neighbors would think something.
It's too late for that. Everyone knows what a mean, abusive wife you are.
What?
You took advantage of my caregiving experience to dump caring for your parents on me. You pushed all the housework onto me. You made me care for your father too. And then as soon as it was all done, you forced me to divorce your son and kicked me out. The whole neighborhood knows about it.
What? You can't be serious.
You didn't know about that?
To badmouth me to the neighbors out of spite for the divorce? How could you? You think the neighbors would believe you?
It's a fact. You seem confused, but I didn't do anything.
What?
You don't know the neighbors heard you screaming insults at me?
What are you talking about?
The neighbors kept expressing concern for me. Like the time you locked me out at night, they took me in. They even suggested calling the police because it was so bad.
When did I ever do that?
I just told them not to make a big deal. And that after all, you're still family. Oh, looks like my ride is arriving soon. Anything else to say before we end this chat? If not, I'll put the keys in the mailbox. Okay?
Wait a minute.
I married in at 21, naive and helpless for 35 years. Leo and your family were so kind. Lily, everyone but you. And 35 years living with my in-laws, I endured a lot.
Hey, can we talk for a minute? Before you go, I want you to tell the neighbors the truth, that you weren't abused. I'll be home in a minute.
Oops, sorry, I already got in the car. Goodbye.
Clara, I may be imagining things, but I didn't see you pull up to that fancy store in Rodeo Drive in a blacked-out luxury car, did I? What's going on? Whose fancy car was that? And who was that man with you? Don't tell me you've already got a new guy as soon as you got divorced. Have you no shame? After being a housewife for 35 years, how can you afford a car like that? The divorce settlement was only meant to cover basic living expenses for a while. What's really happening here? Clara, aren't you going to explain yourself? What's the deal? You know you're supposed to answer my calls right away. How dare a daughter-in-law make her mother-in-law wait like this?
Leo, how are things on your end? Is your mother still furious with you? I've been getting so many angry calls and text messages from her.
She's really scary when she's like this. Are you okay? You can't let it affect your health again. Just block Mom, that might be best.
You're right. Even thinking about her is too painful.
When I get home from work earlier, my mom seemed more confused and angry when she saw me.
I mean, she knows I don't have enough money for a luxury car like that. I was surprised to even be in that car myself. I was just going shopping with my brother. She jumped to conclusions as usual. I'll try to set her straight.
In hindsight, it was smart you never told Mom about your half-brother.
Anyway, is the rest of the plan still on track?
Ah, yes. It should all fall into place in about 2 more months. That's when my sister and her family return from their overseas assignment. My mother's scheme will unravel then. It'll work out. We just have to hang in there until then.
Yes, I am waiting patiently for you. Leo, answer the phone. What the hell is going on? Explain yourself.
What happened? I'm at work, but what is this all about?
I haven't heard anything.
What are you talking about?
Why is your sister's stuff delivered here?
The delivery guy said it would be in the afternoon, but oh well.
What are you talking about? Why would Leah's belongings from abroad get delivered to our house?
Oh wait, didn't I mention she said she's coming back home today with her stuff?
Huh?
Mom, are you going senile? I told you about this months ago.
Huh? What? I don't remember that at all.
I said Leah's husband's overseas assignment was ending, so the whole family is moving back. And that eventually we'd live together with the grandkids, so we're renovating this house to make it a multi-family home. Remember?
What are you going on about? Renovating? This is my house. It can't be done without my permission.
What, Mom, did you forget that too? After Dad passed, the house was inherited by me. You really don't listen, do you, Mom?
When did you do that without telling me?
Last summer when they came back for a visit. Oh right, you were on that hot springs trip with your friends then.
So just because I didn't know means you can do whatever you want?
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. I even wrote it on the whiteboard by the entrance.
The whiteboard?
What? You mean you didn't even look at that? Writing important messages on that board was your idea in the first place. Remember? Well, you're always going out, Mom, so it's hard to get a hold of you. And you don't answer calls or read my texts thoroughly. So when I complained, you said it's a hassle to be told everything verbally or over text. And you wrote up that whiteboard and put it there yourself, telling me to write things down on it instead. You forgot?
I guess I never got into the habit of checking it. So what are we supposed to do from now on? If Leah and her family will live here, what about me and you?
Oh God. That house belongs to brother-in-law as of this summer.
Huh?
So starting today, you and I have to move out since they'll be living there now. This is what happens when you don't read the board, Mom. You should really discuss your living situation going forward with Leah's family.
Why didn't you tell me something so important in person?
I did tell you. You just weren't listening. You were brushing it off dismissively like, got it. But clearly you didn't actually get it at all.
That wasn't my intention at all. Where will you live? Can't I live with you?
I got assigned to a factory in Texas, so I already sent my stuff up there.
Texas? That's so far.
Oh yeah, I did ask you before if you would want to go to Texas.
You asked me that? I thought you meant for a trip.
I remember you said you'd hate to live somewhere that hot.
But you're going to live up there all alone at your age?
I won't be alone. Clara has already gone up there to wait for me.
What? Clara? Why would she do that? You're telling me your divorced ex is waiting for you up there? You're lying.
I'm not. I never divorced her, and I never planned to either.
What's going on? You really think someone as clueless as Clara would make it up in Texas? Are you sure about that?
Mom, quit disparaging her already.
She's useless.
You may not have known, but she got all kinds of certifications to work in elderly care.
Oh.
I knew she had some care certifications to help look after your grandma and grandpa. Certifications, yes. She studied and got licensed for whatever was needed as we went along. I didn't realize that. And that's why you shouldn't talk bad about a hardworking person. Whatever. Actually, right after she left this house, I saw her shackling up with some new guy. She's just a shameless hussy. Ah, I never told you about that. My bad for the misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Are you saying I'm wrong? The guy you saw with Clara was her brother. What? Don't be ridiculous. Clara's whole family died a long time ago. Mom, I kept this from you, but she's her mom's child from another man. What? She had a different biological father. I didn't mention it because I figured you'd make a fuss over it. Make a fuss over what? So, this other father of Clara's passed away recently and left her an inheritance. Why keep something that important from me? You know I'd have to be involved with anything involving money. Exactly, that's why I didn't tell you. I knew you'd be antsy about it like you are now. Clara's inheritance belongs to the family she married into. See, you're already eyeing her assets. Well, I can't say the thought didn't cross my mind. You've had her do all the housework and elder care. Of course, you tried taking her money too. What? Leo, whose side are you on? I've been on Clara's side from the start. What about me? You're abandoning your own mother? Clara said the only reason she persevered through your constant nagging and belittling to care for Grandma, Grandpa, and Dad until the very end was because I, along with them, thanked her for it over and over. There was a time I suggested moving out, but she said at least while caring for the elders, she couldn't bring herself to leave. A wife as admirable as that, there's no way I'd abandon her. In fact, I plan to keep repaying her from now on. So, what am I supposed to do? You need to have a serious discussion with Leah's family about your living situation going forward. This is insane. I can't believe this is happening. As harsh as this sounds, you should deeply regret all the verbal abuse you put Clara through. Leo, can I come with you to Texas? What? You're still on about that? Sorry, but if it means protecting my wife, I'm willing to cut ties as your son. Please don't say such an awful thing. Well, I won't cut ties completely, but if you keep giving her a hard time, I'll have to seriously consider it. I'll just ask to stay with Leah's family then. I don't care if you abandon me. Oh, I did forget one thing. What now? Is there more? Leah's mother-in-law lives alone, so they decided she'll move in with them too. What? Leah's family, their son's family, the grandkid, and the grandmother all under one roof? Haha. Even with the good wife-mother-in-law relationship they have, that's going to be tight. Haha. Which means there's no room for you, Mom. So, what am I supposed to do? A helpless old lady all alone? I asked you about this over and over in advance. It's your own fault for not listening. Well, you'll just have to figure something out then, won't you? It's not too late, is it? I'll apologize to Clara for how I treated her. What good will apologizing to her do? Could you please ask her if she can support me financially to live alone? Please. Mom, I can't even begin to describe how appalling that request is. After everything you put her through and leached off her labor, to come begging for money once you're in a bind? Have you no shame? I never expected things to turn out like this. I thought with her out of the picture, there'd be one less mouth to feed and we'd be better off financially. What an idiotically selfish thing to say. Trying to play the victim after you tried driving Clara out? Even if she forgives you, I never will. And I don't think her brother will either. Her brother? I've never met him or anything. Since you always complained about Clara's family matters, I avoided telling you, but I'll explain. What is it? Clara's biological father was a very important person who basically ran this whole area. What? And her brother took over as the new boss after him. You're lying. Unfortunately not, and in fact, you gave his little sister a hard time, so you're likely on his radar now too. No way. That's why stop harassing her. Be careful. Why is this happening? Well, in any case, Leah's family will be there soon. So discuss it with them and figure it out. Mom, reflect deeply on how awfully you treated the woman who sacrificed so much to care. Goodbye.
Leo, did you make it to the airport?
Hi, Clara. They said boarding starts in 30 minutes.
It's been so long, hasn't it? Finally, after 35 years, it's over.
Oh, I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you.
No, it's alright. Well, I certainly don't have any fond memories with your mother. Thinking back actually makes me tear up from how much resentment I felt. But your grandparents and father-in-law were always kind to me, and in the end, I was able to repay them by caring for them.
They were all grateful to you.
It was difficult, but I was able to go through it because you were always on my side. Thank you, truly.
No, thank you, Clara. I'm the one who is eternally grateful to have had you taking care of me this whole time. I never properly expressed it to your face, but thank you.
From now on, it will be just the two of us, helping each other out together.
Yeah, that's right.
What is your mother going to do?
I asked my sister earlier, and she said Mom is still in shock, just stunned silent. Probably because I ended up telling her about your family situation too.
What? You told her about my brother?
My bad.
Well, it's fine. When she knows my brother's occupation, she'll probably become much more compliant.
You're probably right. Looks like we're about to board.
I'll go pick you up.
Thank you. See you later.
Yes, see you soon. Since my mother-in-law had nowhere to live, she meekly lived with my sister-in-law's family. But I guess she got tired of having to walk on eggshells because she started acting completely selfish and unrestrained. Eventually, it came out that she had been secretly tormenting Leah's daughter-in-law behind their backs, and she ended up getting kicked out. That said, Leah isn't heartless, so she was looking for an elderly care home that Rose could move into. Rose reluctantly moved in, but since no one would come visit her, probably because of her arrogant attitude, she wasn't able to get along with anyone at the facility either, leaving her isolated and alone, which was her own doing. As pitiful as her lonely twilight years are, word is her dementia has been progressing lately. Apparently, she's been apologizing to the care staff, saying, "I'm sorry, Clara,"